Oh, Mason militia notes. You know how we kick one around. We kick one around pretty good around here, to be perfectly honest. Now again, these are two different things for what they are. Same charts. I don't remember exactly how to get to it. You type in U.S. Census, you get to the page, you click to the map, and that's going to give me the general overall population from whatever main charts we have. Before they get a little bit more specific, and again, the engineering on this is adjusted because again, I come from up here, and given the district again, which a way to homogenize some of the issue of the coastline. Again, more about the shipping coastline in here instead of what the Venezuela hurricane numbers are, in terms of loving to be able to put down some local militia or move them. I can't really uproot, right? But I got to stay on mission with some furloughs back to the system, kind of like a sub or a Navy operator inside of there, to make sure that that's just generally what works, whether there's problems with it or not. Irregardless to the yellow zone or the green zone of probabilities in terms of what that looks like. Damn, here it's just the Weather Channel's accurate, more precise model is relative now, but the overall webways that say, well, over the years, Farmer's Almanac, most of the time throughout the season it comes like this. We've already had one or two or three. Sometimes they can be intense but have more weather or more water, which serves one way or the other in the turn machine, Boltzmann machine. And to be able to come down and be able to do that, or at least for a high probability ring inside of there, again, some dark matter and dark energy stuff when you think about it from a governing position like this. Here again, most of the time the probability is some line graphs and some numbers that correlate to, well, the goat or the reaper or Waldo swim past Bama Bass's pond sensor. And so that's a high spike. And any other ones that do it in a certain number range become the range of what that is. And there may be a time for when that's different, or at least you need those multiple points of views to be able to understand what's going down. Here, mostly militia cleanup crew, W12, carpenter, electrician, put them on a crew for a unit on what it is you're doing, because, until you get here, but all the land is the same. There's two or three in here short of what is it, Maryland is, and the District of Columbia for Arlington over somewheres in here. That's kind of its own, a way when you want to think about how to re-engineer this or re-tackle the problem based on certain Hamiltonians. Break me down into districts? No. Not going to break me down into districts, but that's alright. Can't really zoom in. I can zoom out. And that's a problem. It's a problem in one of those ways that really becomes an issue because there's no way over certain gaps at the world, with 49 or any combination of what the Hamiltonian reference is within those chains and rails, especially. There's one about my town being right on the corner. Not only is it not in New York, but it's not in really Pennsylvania either. It's kind of in this limbo position wherever, because ground topology, the river, stuff like that made that early post. So instead of changing where that town would be, you'd have to change the lines. In some ways the state, and in some ways the district, in some ways the county, and even some ways the town, to really adjust to what's going to what school district and what kind of systems that may be interjecting in. Again, when I get into the lower sets of what this is, survivabilities, into certain standards of that middle curve before all that work starts to do a wave function until you stop really working and doing stuff. It all goes to her estate over the hen house about listening to them talk to it and some gray lodge. Hunting cabin somewhere's out here, mailbox out on pasture somewhere's out there, which you can find. Most incumbent cities got that ring, but again, you're not looking at Akron or I forget the big city over here for vice president, or what has he got there? Fetterman over here in Pennsylvania. Is not really dealing with this farm log lot they got out here and hunting game standards beyond what it is for their people. to hunt and be able to fish, or be able to say that there's some, exodus, at least sensibly, between the seasons of how those things move around and get wily. People from New York are going to go to Pennsylvania to go hunt because they have better connections in there, and there's a certain high probability inside of there. I'm sure when the number metrics get all weird, it gets weird with it.